GW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Liberty Mutual Insurance.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. 3 months to the day, 19 children and 2 teachers were gunned down at Robb Elementary School in Uvalde, Texas. The school board has voted to fire the district police chief, Pete Arredondo, over response to the massacre. Officers waited more than 75 minutes to stop the gunman. Correspondent Janet Shamlian is in Uvalde.
People were happy, but frankly, they were really upset that it had taken this long. They were most vocal when the meeting started before the school board went into closed session to discuss Arredondo's firing. They feel like the school board let them down.
Striking teachers in Columbus, Ohio could be back in classrooms Monday. The announcement from a union spokesman.
At 2:38 this morning, the bargaining team reached a conceptual agreement. We are very excited to bring this to our membership for ratification.
They've been at odds with the district over salaries, class size, and including gym and art in the curriculum. The economy is still shrinking. The Commerce Department says it slimmed down at an annual rate of April through June. That's a slight upgrade from the initial estimate. It marks the second straight quarter of contraction, which meets one informal sign of recession. New laws banning abortion are scheduled to take effect in several states today.
The new laws will kick in Oklahoma, Tennessee, and Texas. The Texas law bans abortions after fertilization, except in cases of life-threatening or severe health conditions. Tennessee's ban affects all abortions, except in the case of severe or life-threatening health conditions for the mother. Oklahoma's ban calls for up to 10 years in prison and a $100,000 fine for performing an abortion. But in Idaho, a federal judge has barred the state from putting effect. The judge cited concerns that it would violate federal law on emergency care. Linda Kenyon, CBS News.
Federal prosecutors are expected to file a blacked-out version of the FBI affidavit today that led to the search at Mar-a-Lago. White House correspondent Stephen Portnoy.
There's no telling when Magistrate Judge Bruce Reinhart will make the redacted version of the affidavit public, but today is the deadline he set for prosecutors to suggest what should be blacked out. Reinhart has seen the full version, of course. He used it to authorize the search warrant. He signaled in an order earlier this week that he sympathizes with the prosecutor's argument that harm could be done to the investigation and potentially to is released.
California's Air Resources Board votes today for all new cars, trucks, and SUVs to be powered by electricity or hydrogen by 2035. People would be able to keep driving gas-fueled vehicles they already own or buy used ones. This is CBS News.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance, so you only pay for what you need. Visit libertymutual.com to learn more.
How did hiring the right person become so difficult? Well, it doesn't have to be. Alpha Digital already has targeted databases built to very qualified candidates that are just looking for the right opportunity. That allows you to target exactly who you're trying to reach with a budget that is customized just for you. Learn about all the possibilities by going to alphamediadigital.com today. Find your next star employee with alphamediadigital.com.
Summer is here, the perfect time to save some money. Why would you pay full price when you know that you can save at RocketGrabPlus.com? You can check out all of our deals going on right now from Tri-City Motor Speedway, One Up Games and Repairs, JB's Market in Munger, Norrie's of Auburn, Daylight Outfitters, and more. Half off? Yeah, it's true. And it's all at RocketGrabPlus.com.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And now you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. That's ZipRecruiter.com/trial. ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Cloudy skies and 67 degrees at 9:05. Good morning. I'm Mike Percha. Saginaw residents on the north and east sides of the city made their voices heard at a planning commission meeting Tuesday night. The commission has proposed rezoning an 8-block area of the city from industrial due to the number of empty lots in the area and would like to see the land being used by businesses to generate tax revenue. However, some residents are opposed to the idea, claiming they've been left out of the conversation around rezoning up to this point and worry attracting businesses to the area could change the neighborhood. The Planning Commission is postponing the plan for 60 days to allow further input from the community. After 6 months of renovations, closed down food donations, the City Rescue Mission of Saginaw is asking for help to fill its new pantry. Here's the WSGW's Jonathan Dent.
The rescue mission has been undergoing renovation since March, which expanded its food service area by approximately 400 square feet and upgraded its equipment. Director of Development Kimberly Ansell says that the rescue mission is partnering with Gordon Food Service to fill the newly expanded storage space in its kitchen.
Because we were unable to accept food donations during that time, our pantry's cupboards are bare, and so we've decided party to help restock those shelves and serve one of the many thousands of meals that we serve during the month.
During this time, donors can buy food items from the Gordon Food Service location at 3800 Bay Road in Saginaw and leave it with store employees to be picked up by rescue mission personnel or purchase gift cards for the mission to buy food with. A list of requested food items can be found in the store or at rescuesaginaw.org. Jonathan Dent, News Radio 100.5 and 790.
WSGW News Time, 9:07.
Hi, I'm Albert Gay, a public health professional who works to reduce drug and substance misuse in diverse communities across our country. I'm pleased to be celebrating the Women of Colors by presenting at their Community Appreciation and Summer Report event on Thursday, August 25th at the Saginaw Art Museum. After that, join us on Friday, August 26th at the SVRC building in the auditorium at 1 p.m. for the Community Health Equity Workshop for a deeper discussion on the revelations that the year 2020 brought us concerning injustice within our present-day society. This workshop will give an overview of a federal tool that helps any organization address the inequities found within their community. Finally, we will explore how the integration of this tool can help us transform systems for the creation of an equitable world.
WSGW News Time, 9:08. The weather forecast is coming up. Tests show a mysterious illness that has killed dozens of dogs in northern Michigan is canine parvovirus. The Michigan Agriculture Department and MSU Veterinary Lab announced the results of testing yesterday. The young dogs that died were not vaccinated against the disease. The state veterinarian says there is a highly to help protect dogs from the virus. The new school year starts today in the Oxford School District with several new security features in place. Students will have to use clear backpacks while school administrators have new technology to monitor online activity on school-provided accounts. New policies and procedures were put into place after 4 students were killed and 7 others were injured during a shooting at the high school last November. The suspect is in jail awaiting trial. With back to school coming, are you concerned about COVID-19 for kids? Dr. Scott Grant from Children's Hospital of Michigan says there's a lot of information available for parents, including the school's COVID policies.
I think it's important to try to at least keep an eye on, how many cases of COVID and what are the hospitalization rates. One of the things that has happened during the pandemic is a lot of that information is a lot easier to find now for parents than it was at the beginning of the pandemic. So just having that information available to you to be able to make the best decision for your own children.
Science from Michigan Tech report the gray wolf population on Isle Royale in the UP is now 28 after falling to just 2 a few years ago. Tech scientist Sarah Hoy says at least 5 litters of pups have been born since replacement wolves came to the island from problems stemming from inbreeding, leading to a steady die-off of the canines over years. The moose numbers are headed in the opposite direction, the report showing a 28% decline in the past couple of years, but at more than 1,300, which is above the long-term average. WSGW News Time 9:10. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW Weatherology forecast. Mostly cloudy for today. Showers are possible in the area mainly during the afternoon. Highs top out near 81 degrees. Winds west-southwest around 5 miles per hour. Tonight, chance for more showers before midnight. Storms also pop. Winds will be light. Lows drop to 64. Friday, mostly sunny. Highs approach 79. Winds north 5 to 10. Friday night, mostly clear skies. Light winds. Lows fall back to 57. And then Saturday, lots more sunshine and highs reach 81. I'm meteorologist Phil Jensko with the WSGW Weatherology forecast. Right now it's 66.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 at SGW and online, WSGW.com.
And a very pleasant good morning to you on a Thursday. Welcome to this edition of the Art Lewis Show. Glad to have you with us this morning as I broadcast from my Saginaw Spirit Home studio. Later on, we're going to talk about the Alzheimer walks after 10 o'clock this morning. At 11 o'clock, the READ Association on Focus. But we're going to begin this hour talking about electric generation and how it's done, particularly as it refers to hydro. And to explain it all to us from Consumers, where he's Vice President of Generation Operations, say good morning to Norm Kapala. Norm, good morning.
Good morning, Art, and thank you for having me.
Thanks for being with us today. Have to start out by asking, before we get into the future of hydro, what was the past like? Prior to the dam failures that we, in this part of the world, we all know about, how much power was Consumers deriving from hydroelectric?
Well, I tell you, hydroelectric power is part of our history. Along the course of our history as a company, we've owned and operated over 90 river hydros. Typically, they're small, community-driven to support the growth around Michigan. And, about 70 of those were retired 1940, 1970. And, we continue to operate 13 river hydros today. So we have a long history with the communities that they serve, with operating these assets, and they continue to be a benefit to the local communities.
So with the push for green energy, reduction on dependence on coal and oil, does hydro come into the forefront again now? Is this the new wave of the future from the past?
Well, hydro is very important to our clean energy plan. And our 13 river hydro units produce about the energy that we deliver to our customers. So a very small portion, but a very important portion. And yes, they are part of our clean energy plan. And like you mentioned, very important plan for Michigan, for our customers, to retire our coal plants here very shortly by 2025, continue our growth in solar, and then continue, right, to find the best technology to deliver, clean, reliable, and economically feasible energy for Michigan.
In Norm's world, do you see new hydro coming online, new dams?
In our world in Michigan, I do not see that we're going to add hydros to our fleet, to the existing 13 that we have right now. And really, that's the point that we're at today. We're really at the forefront of beginning to with each and every hydro. We're 12 years away from relicensing the hydros that are on 5 different rivers across Michigan. And although no new hydro generation is in our current, we call it our integrated resource plan, our clean energy plan, we are starting very early in the process to get some community feedback so that we can make an informed decision on the life of each one of those hydros and the impact of the communities that they serve.
When the two dams failed in our region, did that cause consumers to have to reevaluate their dams?
Well, we are constantly evaluating in our dam safety program. So no new actions taken because of the failures of the Keaton Hill dams, but absolutely we were part of those.
And
the communities recover from that.
The 13 dams that you currently operate, are they owned by consumers or are they operated by somebody else for you?
No, our 13 hydroelectric facilities are owned by us, by Consumers Energy.
So you take responsibility for those as opposed to the others, which were owned by somebody else, and we all know what happened. So let me. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Let me ask you this, Norm.
Yeah, absolutely.
We have a delay apparently. Go ahead.
Absolutely. We own and operate our 13 river hydros. We were part of the Fort Lakes Task Force to help the communities there in Sanford and Edenville, and we'll continue to play a role to help those communities as well as develop our safety programs in the communities that the 13 river hydros serve.
I have to ask this question because you're the vice president of generation operations. There's been a lot of questioning as to whether or not, with the retirement of the coal plants and the reduction on dependence of fossil fuel, you'll be able to meet the needs of the new electric generation of the need for charging electric vehicles, for example. Pretty soon, 10, 15, 20 years from now, EVs are going to be the mainstay of the roads. Are you going to be able to meet that demand using clean energy only?
Without question, we have a great plan to serve our customers in Michigan, and that is our clean energy plan. Through the regulatory filings that was approved here earlier this year, and we have a plan between gas generation after 2025, hydro generation, and we're very proud of a Ludington pump storage, a very large unit for us up in Northwest Michigan. And as we develop the plan and see what our load forecast is and how to supply clean and reliable, safe energy to Michigan, we will adapt. But as we sit here today and our strategy to do that, to provide that energy to Michigan, we have a very stable, robust, and predictable plan to do that.
One of the pieces is solar. You mentioned it. And there's been a lot of concern that these huge solar farms are going to take agricultural land out of production and may cause problems down the road. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, we have those questions and conversations daily. And the reality of it is, with the solar that we need to implement, and our plan calls for about 8,000 megawatts of solar over the course of the next 20 years, and the land that it will take to install that amount of solar is about 1% of the agricultural land in Michigan. So we are very aware that can be very impactful to communities, counties, and different local areas. If from a big picture, that's what we need to manage. We need to manage to find land that is non-agricultural and land that has a best case use for the deployment of those 8,000 megawatts of solar.
So I guess the next question, Norm, is this. If we're going to move away from coal, obviously you've already, the company has already said that they're done with coal, and move away from fossil fuels such as oil, when you shut down all of those last coal plants by 2025, will you have in place enough generation to replace all the energy they provided?
Yeah, absolutely. And as part of our plan, the closure of the coal plants that are still operating today, Karn 1 and 2, that are over in Essexville, and Campbell units 1, 2, and 3 that are in West Olive, Michigan. We have gas plants right now, in addition to our renewable assets, to back that up. And in 2023, just a little less than a year from now, part of our plan is to purchase an existing gas plant in Michigan, in Culver, so Southwest Michigan. And that really is the balance equation that we need. It enables us to exit coal and to operate a new asset that can continue to supply the energy that Michigan needs.
Was there ever any thoughts when you, for example, shut down Karn 1 and 2 of just using that site to build a new gas plant?
We evaluate the best case use study for the different facilities. So yeah, all options are evaluated. So we go through a very rigorous process called a future use study for our sites. And whether that is new generation, whether that's a new industry, that future use study and then the community impact studies that we do really feed into our long-term strategy for each. So it's evaluated, all options are on the table, and we try to find the best match for our customers, for the company, and the communities that we're in.
All right, well, Norm, the last question for you today. When all is said and done, what's our electricity cost going to look like for the consumer compared to what it is now?
So that is a great question, Art, and I will tell you, at Consumers Energy by our purpose, and that is very simply world-class performance delivering hometown service. And we know that keeping the lights on and keeping our rates affordable are at the forefront of what we do. We need reliability, we need affordability, we need safety. And our plan that we have approval and that we are executing today has about a $600 million savings from the plan that we previously submitted and was approved in 2018. And that savings is going to be directly passed on to our customers. So we have the right plan for Michigan that is really going to feed not only into the reliability, not only into our affordability, but the safety of our state and really drive the prosperity of Michigan in the future.
Well, Norm, I appreciate your time this morning. Thanks for spending a little time with us from Consumers, and we'll do it again.
All right, thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Have a great day. Bye-bye now. Norm Kapala, he is the Vice President of Generation Operations for Consumers Energy. We thank him for joining us on the Art Lewis Show this morning. And this will move us into our open line phase. So we have open phones for whatever you'd like to chat about. 989-752-6111 is the number to call. And let me chat with you about my friends at Thalen Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Bay City. If you're thinking about buying a new Chrysler Dodge Jeep or Ram truck, you owe it to yourself to go online, take a look at their inventory at thinkthalen.com. And remember this too, you can complete about 80% of the purchase online. All you have to do then is come in, sign the paperwork, pick up the vehicle. And Thalen has new vehicles on the lot and new vehicles arriving all the time. Check them out. Make sure your name's on one of them. Now, if you're looking to move up to a newer pre-owned car or truck, the other thing to remember is that the Thalen Auto Group, all of those dealerships on North Euclid Avenue are side by side. All their pre-owned and inspected vehicles are right there in one spot, offering you one of the largest inventories in the Great Lakes Bay region. Thalen, North Euclid Avenue in Bay City. Sit down with the Thalen representative, strike your best deal on the car you desire, and then drive it away today. Thalen, the family has been serving your automotive needs for 45 years. Stop today or visit them online at thinkthalen.com.
For a beautiful look that protects and stays clean, choose Dutch Boy paint from Menards. Now all 11% off. Get quality products with smart technology like mildew-resistant coating, stain shield, and dirt-resistant paint and primer in the award-winning Dutch Boy Twist and Pour containers. Get 11% off everything, including the full line of Dutch Boy paints, now at Menards. Good through August 28th. Savings are mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
Attention, per the current government mandate, U.S.-based for at-home COVID testing kits with no out-of-pocket fees to you. If you have a current insurance plan, you are eligible to receive up to 8 COVID-19 tests shipped to you each month absolutely free, as long as the government mandate is in effect. Just visit testkitforfree.com to register now from the comfort of your own home. That's testkitforfree.com to receive your tests shipped to you at no cost. Go to testkitforfree.com today. Paid for by TRO Health.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
The number of new claims for unemployment benefits last week declined by 2,000 to 243. Improvement and fewer than economists were expecting. The number of continuing claims, those still receiving benefits, also declined to 1.42 million. And the Commerce Department just updated the second quarter gross domestic product. It says the economy declined 0.6% in the spring, though it indicates a slowdown. It's not as severe as initially estimated, and consumer spending rose 1.5% in the spring, a positive sign. Shoppers have been heading to Dollar General for bargains. The discount chain says sales at existing stores were up 4.6% in the recent quarter. It was also seeing an increase in customer traffic. Grocery items. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
The Tunnel to Towers Foundation has been supporting America's heroes and their families since 9/11. U.S. Army Specialist Jason Wheeler is one such hero. He re-enlisted after 9/11, but training accident injuries left him unable to walk. Specialist Wheeler and his family received a mortgage-free smart home that's custom designed for his needs. Help heroes like Jason and their families. Join Tunnel to Towers mission to do good in their honor. Donate $11 a month at t2t.org.
The biannual blowout is just a week away, and we've got a lot of work to do.
Keenan's Rug Emporium is rolling out a Labor Day bonanza.
We have that flatweed shipment coming in.
He needs 10 new sales associates as the crowds loom large.
Someone run a stock check on all the Moroccan 8x10s?
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
The WSGW Morning Team Show.
WSGW Online Poll Football 2022. Ready to kick off. Michigan spectacular last season, winning the Big Ten championship, finishing 12-2. Michigan State impressive, winning the Peach Bowl, finishing 11-2. Lions only won 3 games, but did beat 2 playoff teams later in the year, Green Bay and Atlanta. Can Michigan and Michigan State continue great, gutsy, gridiron play? Will the Lions' appearance on HBO's Hard Knocks become hardcore football? Poll question: what team do you predict to win the most games this season? Wolverines, Spartans, Lions. All 3 will tie, or you could choose the Wolverines and Spartans, the Wolverines and Lions, or the Spartans Lions. Make your choice by going to WSGW.com, scrolling on the homepage, clicking on the poll box, and making your vote.
You would always think, hey, the Lions play more games, right?
Yeah. On this poll.
Could that change?
Could this be the year?
The Morning Team Show. Weekdays 5:30 till 9 on WSGW.
On the next Markley Van Camp and Robin show, Biden's Christmas for beta males and cat ladies.
That sounds redundant to me. I don't know.
Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins. Weekdays at noon on 100.5 and 790. News Radio WSGW.
All right, we are back with you here on the Art Lewis Show. Open phones for the remainder of the hour. As you know, if you've been following the news, even if you weren't following the news, you probably heard about it anyway. But the president announced yesterday the forgiveness of up to $10,000 in student loans, or for Pell Grant recipients, $20,000 if your income is $125,000 or less, or a family of $250,000 or less. Not surprisingly, it came under criticism from Republicans, but more surprisingly, it came under criticism from a number of Democrats. At a time when inflation is rampant, they are worried, and Republicans are worried that this debt cancellation could end up, according to the Wharton budget model, costing about $1 trillion. And most of those benefits will go to the top 60% of wage earners in the country. So the Republicans, on the one hand, and I can give you an example, John Molinar of the 4th District, John says, quote, today's announcement by President Biden takes money from hardworking Michigan families and mostly benefits wealthier Americans who choose to take on debt. Michigan residents who learn skilled trades and put those skills to work will now be picking up the tab for personal loans taken out by others. It is also completely unfair to many Americans who worked hard and already paid back their loans. All of us will be paying the price for this Biden policy, as it will increase inflation and raise the cost of goods and services. The Democrats say Biden's proposal will hurt working families because it will send inflation higher. Larry Summers, former economic advisor to former President Barack Obama, said, quote, student loan debt relief is spending that raises demand and increases inflation, unquote. There is another part of this which you hear nothing about ever. And it's an interesting unintended consequence that I don't know how many of these folks are going to be prepared for. Do you realize that if you are forgiven the debt of $10,000, that now becomes income to you? And guess what happens to income? You owe tax on it. We're going to wait and see how many people get surprised by that little notion. Paul is in Alger, so let's go up there this morning. Good morning.
Thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
And I appreciate everything you do.
Thank you.
Explaining everything well to all of us out here, listeners. I had a question about, I know you're just talking to that fellow from Consumers, and I haven't heard of all that. No, them dams are broke there. Are they going to change them over to hydro as they're rebuilding?
No.
Do you know, or
not that I'm aware of? They have 13 dams. They have 13 dams that they own, Consumers owns, and those are the ones they draw hydro from. They were part of the Four Lakes Task Force, but they don't own those dams, the Edenville and the Sanford dams. They don't own them, and they, as far as I know, there is no plans to add them into the hydro mix.
And would it be a perfect opportunity to turn them over to hydro dams?
Yeah, I guess they were at one time. I would think the more hydro you can generate, the better off you are. But what do I know? You know, it's not my ball
I'm in
field.
the same boat.
Yeah.
Right. And then I got one more question. They're talking about changing all, getting rid of coal and doing all the gas, for these power plants, if I understand it correctly. And I know they've been talking about quit drilling for oil and all this stuff. What's that going to do for gasoline for automobiles if it's all going to go for producing power?
No. It's natural gas. Difference. Not gasoline. Yeah. Natural gas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we have plenty of that.
Right.
That appears, when they all came forth with the notion they were going to get rid of all fossil fuels, there was a lot of question about natural gas because it was at the time affordable and burned a lot cleaner. But that was not part of their plan to get rid of natural gas. They are actually going to acquire natural gas.
Yeah. But that requires still fracking to locate that natural gas also, isn't it?
No, the natural gas pockets are pretty well tapped. We know where it is, and we have tons of it. Fracking pretty much is for shale oil and oil.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, thank you.
Yep, you betcha. Thanks for calling, Paul. Thanks.
And nice talking to you. And like I say, thanks again for all you do.
Appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Yep.
All righty.
Bye.
We'll take a quick break. Come back. Cynthia, hang on. You're going to be next. Cynthia's in Midland. We'll be back with her after these notes.
This is Jason from Applied Training Solutions in the Midland Mall. We are the Midwest's premier From our state-of-the-art digital firearm range to open-hand self-defense classes, we are building a safer community one student at a time. We offer concealed pistol license classes that combine both live fire and digital range training. Online at simurange.com and Facebook at ATS Midland. Applied Training Solutions, forward-thinking, on-target training.
RocketGrabPlus.com. This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is for Johnson's Pumpkin Farm in Saginaw. With this deal, you are getting a $50 gift certificate for only $25. You can explore the corn maze, get some cider, and don't forget about the donuts. Get ready for Halloween this year by picking out the perfect pumpkin for your next jack-o'-lantern. Head over to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal. RocketGrabPlus.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
How do you make the most of your land? Shaw does it behind the wheel of the John Deere 1025R compact tractor.
Shaw stands for skilled hands at work.
And he lives up to the name as he uses his versatile tractor to make
the earth take the shape that I wanted to take.
And the Allens fire up their John Deere 3032E compact tractor
to grow about 9 acres of flowers.
Because the beauty of having land is deciding how to make it yours. Is to make the most of your land. Learn how to make the most of yours at Deere.com. Nothing runs like a Deere.
The Labor Day event from Dell Technologies is here. End the summer strong by starting up a new season of productivity. Your business upgrade begins with up to 48% off top-rated laptops, like Vostro, taking performance to the next level with 12th Gen Intel Core processors. It's time to push your growing business even further. What's next for you? Upgrade today by calling 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
Attention all business owners who rent or lease space, including wasting your money paying someone else for your space. You can now save a ton of money and own your own building with the incredible sale prices from General Steel. That's right. Start saving money every month on renting space from others. Just call 877-25-STEEL to see how General Steel can help you save money. Our 50-year structural warranty buildings are custom designed for your needs and save you a ton of money. Call 877-25-STEEL.
Take it from a successful entrepreneur. If you need to expand or start a new business, you need General Steel.
Great team and the competitive pricing is the reason I went with General Steel.
Call 877-25-STEEL now, and you can get any of our popular structures, including a 40 by 60 foot building or a 50 by 100 clear span building fast and easy. Call 877-25-STEEL. That's 877-257-8335. 877-25-STEEL.
Broadcasting from the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Showroom and Design Center Studios. This is WSGW.
All right, we're back here on WSGW. Cynthia is in Midland. Cynthia, good morning.
Good morning, Art. Just a question about that Biden put through. I'm just wondering, I mean, what does that mean for current college students, or what would their expectation be? I mean, I haven't read enough about the bill, but I mean, I don't understand, you know, if you're just starting out and going to college, what's your expectation?
Well, I mean, my expectation would be you're going to forgive me of $10,000 worth of loan. I don't know if that's true, but I believe it is. I don't know for sure, though. But that would be my expectation. If everybody else is getting it, why am I not getting it, you know?
Right, but that's what, to me, is very vague. And I wish they'd, you know, because it just isn't making sense to me.
Yeah, I'm going to see if I can find out, because that is an interesting question. I thought I had the details of it, but I apparently don't. I will try and find out. And
yeah, if you could do that, just for informational purposes for everyone.
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting question, because I know what it would do to me. It would make me think, well, okay, all right, somebody's going to forgive my debt before I even write it. You know, it's
right. And or if parents have been putting away in the 529s, you know.
Yeah, well, that's, you know, to me, I mean, there's a gross unfairness here, because, you know, what about all the people who have fulfilled their obligations, paid off their student loans, or continue to pay off their student loans? And, you know, I do believe that we as a nation have to address the issue of higher education cost. It's out of hand, and we are saddling people with huge debt when they come out of school. That needs to be addressed. I don't think this is the way to address it, but that's me, you know.
Yeah, and that's what kind of the future plan is with this, you know, if it's a one-time and done, or where they're going with it. So if you could research it and report back, I think everybody would benefit from it.
It's a one-time and done vote getter. That's what it is.
Well, sure, you know, and I'm also aware of a couple of great young people that worked full-time and went to school at night and got their bachelor's degrees that way. And, you know, that is very rare in today's environment, and no doubt.
Here's the other side of this when I say vote getting, and here's why I say that. At the same time, it was also announced that the putting off repayment of student loans has been moved from, I think it was October, to now January, where they will begin again collecting on student loans. Funny thing about that, they didn't want students to get bills just before the election. You know, funny thing about that. Midterms, you got it, midterms.
Yep.
So I just think, and you know, and I have to laugh. I mean, some members of the Democratic Party, particularly Bernie Sanders, he'd forgive the whole thing. He didn't tell us how he's going to pay for it, but he'd forgive everything. And I'm going, oh, come on, let's be realistic.
Though, for you to research, you know, so if you have a change in administration, right? I mean, is this one and done, and then, you know, future generations or future?
Well, yeah, I mean, if it's done by executive order, for example, if it can be done by executive order, then obviously it's subject to the next president's desires or lack thereof. If it's an act of Congress, that's a different story. So.
Right.
All right.
I think that would be interesting.
I will take a look. I will take a look and see what I can find.
Thank you so much.
Thanks,
really
Cynthia.
appreciate it.
Yep, you bet.
Have a good day.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now. It's an interesting question. You know, what about students who are now just entering college and just taking out loans? They get $10,000 worth forgiven? And, you know, the question was, one of the guys at the station wrote, what about students that didn't go to college because they did not want to go into debt with student loan? Well, they made their choice. I mean, that's kind of a separate issue, but obviously if they didn't want to do it, they can always do it later. We're going to take a break, come back, and we will return with more. Lines are open for you on the Art Lewis Show.
Michigan workers can outcompete anyone, but we have to ensure they have a level playing field. This is Dan Kildee. and I passed bipartisan legislation to boost American manufacturing and make more things in Michigan. We shouldn't have to rely on China for critical components like semiconductors. In Congress, I'll keep standing up for Michigan workers.
Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
At Consumers Energy, we're harnessing the power of the sun to create a cleaner energy future for Michigan. By 2040, solar energy will provide most of the electricity we deliver to our customers. That's good for the planet and your pocketbook. But we can't get there without your help. We're searching for large parcels of land in Michigan to build solar power plants. If you have a site for us to consider, visit consumersenergy.com/MISolar to learn more.
The biannual blowout is just a week away, and we've got a lot of work to do.
Rolling out a Labor Day bonanza.
Have that flatweed shipment coming in.
He needs 10 new sales associates as the crowds loom large.
Someone run a stock check on all the Moroccan 8x10s?
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
I wanted to know why some people who get COVID-19 get it so bad. I found out it may be because they have a high risk factor, such as heart disease, diabetes, being overweight, smoking, and asthma. Even if symptoms feel mild, these factors COVID-19 turning severe. So if you're at high risk and test positive, there are things you can do, like asking your healthcare provider if an authorized oral treatment is right for you. Learn about an option at treatcovid19.com. This message is sponsored by Pfizer.
Do you know what people see when they Google you? Search engines don't always get it right. And when they're wrong, it's your reputation on the line. So what do you do when you don't agree with your search results? Call at 800-401-6681. Reputation Defender by Norton is one of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. We have over a decade of experience in fixing people's search results, and we can help you too. Using cutting-edge approaches, Reputation Defender pushes unflattering information down to lower pages of your search results, where few people ever look. We also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, letting you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. To yourself to take control with Reputation Defender. Visit www.reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 for free advice on your situation. 800-401-6681.
Coming soon in the Great Lakes Bay region, the Alzheimer's Association annual Walk to End Alzheimer's events will be taking place. These walks are the world's largest fundraisers for Alzheimer's care, support, and research. You can join the fight against Alzheimer's by walking in Saginaw on September 10th, in Bay City on October 1st, and Midland on October 8th. You can find Walk to End Alzheimer's information on the Wsgw by scrolling down and clicking on the Walk to End Alzheimer's box.
Hi, this is Mike Avery, and here's what's coming up this week on Outdoor Magazine. First, Skeeter Beckman of Brenton USA Hunting Rifles. Then, Ed Roy from the Michigan Wildlife Council. In hour number 2, we're talking about the proposed Camp Grayling expansion. First with Jason Teddy, then Justin Tomei of MUCC. In our third hour, it's Jeff Poet of Jay's Sporting Goods on an Alaskan doll sheep hunting adventure. Listen Saturday mornings at 6 and Sundays at 9 on WSGW.
All right, we're back with you. Before we get back to our phones, just a quick comment to Cynthia. I did find a Free Press article in the time I had here, just a couple of minutes. And what it says is, what if you're going to college this fall? College students who head to campus with a backpack full of loans are eligible too. Borrowers, according to the White House, who are dependent students, will be eligible for relief based on parental income rather than their own income. So there you go. All right, let's talk to Russ in Bay City. Russ, good morning.
Good morning, Art. Well, I don't know. I mean, for one thing, he says he's canceling the debt. Well, he's not canceling the debt. He's putting a debt on the working American to pay taxes.
Exactly. Somebody has to pay for it.
I mean, and there's no cancellation there. A cancellation would screw the bank or screw the schools. And he's not going to do that to either one of those.
Well, it all comes back to us
He's
anyway.
just not.
It all comes back to us. It all comes back to us.
And the second thing is, isn't this a classic case of putting the cart before the horse? If these student loans are so horrible, they're such atrocious, that we've got to bail out these poor college-educated people that can't find a decent enough job to pay their debts, then we're going to pay their debts. Well, how about we cancel the student loans first and then fix it? But while we're still creating this mess, it's stupid to try to bail it out.
Yep, well.
It's like trying to bail out the water of a sinking boat before you plug the hole.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's not going to work out good for you.
Well, but just, it's... I
mean, I don't know.
It's a political... This is a political issue, and the timing on this is all about politics.
Oh, no kidding. This is a straight-up classic case of buying votes. And personally, okay, fine. But let everyone know, if you didn't get $10,000, the Democrats don't need you to vote for them. Because they're giving $10,000 to everyone they need to vote for them.
Yeah. All right.
Have a good one.
You too, Russ. Bye-bye now. And let's talk to Joe in Bay City. Joe, good morning.
Good morning, Art. How are you doing today?
We're doing well. Hope you are.
All right. Very good. Well, I'm going to stay on the same subject. This is another case, in my opinion, of everything that this administration has put their hands on has been nothing but a negative for our country. And this is another big negative. And I've just done a little math last night using the numbers that they gave us. And that up to 43 million students and at 10,000 minimum, of course. And just multiply 40 million times 10,000. That comes up to $400 billion, and that does not include that how many they're going to get to 20,000. So you're probably looking at close to $1 trillion.
That's what
he's talking about.
The Wharton budget model estimated $1 trillion. You're exactly right.
I guess I should be on your board.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Good work, Joe. we don't need them. We'll call Joe.
and I'm doing it for free.
The taxpayers thank you for that.
Oh yeah. So where we know where that $1 trillion is going to come from, and it's all going to be wasted. It's just, again, everything they put their hand on. But I cannot think of anything that has been good for our country in the last 18 months.
Well, they know how to spend money. No two ways about that.
Okay, well, I said that. Let me ask you another quick question here. I noticed you had Mr. Kildee on the other day, and you had him on before, and I asked you, have you inquired if Mr. Young would be on your show?
Oh, we will offer him. No, we will offer him the opportunity. Absolutely. Where there is we need to separate some things so you understand, and it's a very good question, by the way. Within 60 days of an election, in that window, we have to make sure that everybody has an opportunity. If we're going to do a campaign, if we do one, we have to do the opponent. Outside of that, the congressman is still a congressman and still qualifies as a news source, and we do not have to counter a news interview with offering his potential opponent time. But inside the window, we will anyway. I mean, that's only fair to do that, and I had planned to do that anyway. So Mr. Young will absolutely have the opportunity. No two ways about it.
Good. Well, I'm not saying who I'm going for, but I know. But that's good to know. That 60-day thing, I didn't realize that. I knew you were supposed to have equal time, but I didn't know.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of legalities that surround political advertising and equal opportunity. We operate under. Yeah, real quick. Go ahead.
Let me ask you another quick question on Senator Manchin. That I guess the big reason he went along with the new bill is because he was promised the pipeline in West Virginia would be able to go through. And I've heard know if it's true or not. I haven't seen anything on the internet that Pelosi and Schumer has now told him, forget it, we're not going to back that pipeline, and thanks for your vote. Have you heard anything like that?
I have not heard a thing like that, no.
Okay.
So that doesn't mean it didn't happen, but I didn't hear about it.
Yeah, so if
I'll
that
have to
happens,
look.
I mean, if that happened, then that's really putting the old boots to somebody.
Yeah, but if that actually happened that way, that would be the end of their chances of getting anything through Congress, because he will staunchly oppose them. So that would be suicidal on their part. But who knows? I'll check. I'll look.
Well, I agree with you. I think it would be suicidal, but guess what? In the last 18 months, I think about 95% of the stuff they've done is suicidal.
But I you mentioned the internet, so I'm going to have to go to other sources outside the internet.
When I heard about it, I just happened to have Sean Hannity on. That just caught a couple of minutes of him. I was coming home, and he had mentioned that. So
I don't know. I'll have to find out.
I can't find anything on it.
Yeah. All right. Good enough, Joe.
Okay. Eric,
Talk to you. Take care. Yep. And our last caller this hour will be Bill in Frankenmuth. Bill, good morning. Bill, hey, good morning.
I'm on Bluetooth. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. It's noisy, but I can hear you.
Okay, very good. Kind of a corollary, not really right or wrong with any of this, but probably from the law of unintended consequences. On this morning on Bloomberg and what have you news, they were discussing a lot of things with Mohammed El-Arian, and of course from Oxford, and of course all this after having a previous guest from Brown University. Well, what is this going to do to tuition? Well, the consensus now is that rather obviously, if you can count on student debt being forgiven, what's going to happen is tuition's going to go up.
Possibly.
Well, then a relative measurement of what are they talking about tuition? Well, at Oxford University, they said around 9,000 pounds sterling, which is around $10,000 or $11,000 US for a year's tuition.
Yeah.
And Brown University, depending on which number you check, is a minimum 60 and a maximum of 80,000 a year.
Yep.
It leads you to go.
Bill, I got to Bill, I got to interrupt. Bill, I'm out of time. I have to interrupt, unfortunately. We will carry this conversation on, though. I appreciate the call. A 401k can be an important asset for many Americans' retirements. You made contributions to your 401k every single paycheck for years and even decades. Its tax advantages and portability may enable workers to build sizable and important nest eggs, but its flexibility can also be costly if you aren't aware of potential mistakes. Great Lakes Investment Advisors have a guide that'll teach you how to avoid an IRS early distribution penalty and full taxation on rollovers, the little-known weapon you can use, your most mistake-proof option, and more. Request your guide today at 989-835-7203 or visit GreatLakesInvestmentAdvisors.com. This commercial shall in no way be construed as a solicitation to sell securities or advisory services of any state other than Michigan or where otherwise permitted. Topics should be discussed with your individual advisor prior to implementation. Advisory services offered through Great Lakes Investment Advisors, a registered investment advisor in the state of Michigan.
Bourbon and Bacon at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort, Saturday, September 24th. Don't miss Classic Rock Legends 38 specials. Enjoy an evening of tasty barbecue and bacon dishes from top local restaurants like House and Barbecue, the Making Bacon Food Truck, and more. Plus a great lineup of bourbon cocktails to keep you rocking into the night. Bourbon and Bacon with 38 specials, September 24th at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. For tickets and info, visit Bourbon.
RocketGrabPlus.com. Summer is here, the perfect time to save some money. Why would you pay full price when you know that you can save at RocketGrabPlus.com? You can check out all of our deals going on right now from Tri-City Motor Speedway, One-Up Games in the Pairs, JB's Market in Munger, Norrie's of Auburn, Daylight Outfitters, and more. Half off? Yeah, it's true. And it's all at RocketGrabPlus.com. RocketGrabPlus.com.
All right, that'll do it for this first hour of the Art Lewis Show. We're going to talk about Alzheimer's walks beginning the next hour, and then we will have more open phone opportunities. But the news is next from CBS and the local report, all ahead here on WSGW. Talk to you right after the news.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. The Uvalde, Texas school's police chief has been fired 3 months to the day of the school shooting massacre that took place. Another agency called police response an abject failure. Correspondent Janet Shamlian is in Uvalde.
On the day of the shooting, Arredondo attempted to negotiate with the gunman, spending time searching for a master key to the classrooms, though the door was likely unlocked. A July report from the Texas House Committee said he wasted precious time and failed to perform in his assigned role as incident commander. But Arredondo has said he didn't believe he was commander. The report also saddled school administrators and the entirety of law enforcement with responsibility.
Well, you got a mixed bag of economic reports this morning. CBS's Linda Kenyon.
First, the Commerce Department says gross domestic income adjusted for inflation rose 0.3% in the second quarter, down from 0.5% in the first quarter. Still, continued growth is an encouraging sign for the economy.
Sign-ups for first-time jobless benefits down by 2,000. Reports just in: southern Ukraine's Zaporizhzhia power plant has been disconnected from the grid. IAEA Director General Rafael Grossi says international inspectors hope to be on their way within days.
We need to be there. We need to be there soon. Kyiv accepts it. Moscow accepts it. We need to go. And we are going to be there, hopefully.
A Ukrainian official says the death toll from a Russian attack on Independence Day yesterday is up to 25. It includes an 11-year-old and a 6-year-old child. A teacher strike in Ohio could be over soon. WBNS TV's Tino Ramos.
This was kind of a hush meeting that went on. Nobody knew where it was taking place, but this was a marathon session in the Columbus Board of Education as well as the teachers union. They came up with what they're calling a conceptual agreement. But the bottom line with all this is if approved all the way through, well, it could be on Monday that the students will return to in-class learning.
A jury has awarded Kobe Bryant's widow, Vanessa, $16 million over sheriff's photos of the helicopter crash that killed her NBA star husband and their 13-year-old daughter. Correspondent Carter Evans in L.A.
They deliberated for only 4 hours before reaching a verdict. The L.A. County Sheriff's Office and Fire Department are going to have to split responsibility for the payout since the jury found both infringed on Bryant's constitutional rights.
Washington Post reporting Tesla's demanding an advocacy group take down video of cars hitting child-sized mannequins. Dow up 88. This is CBS News.
If you need to hire, you need Indeed. Their end-to-end hiring system helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
How did hiring the right person become so difficult? Well, it doesn't have to be. Alpha Digital already has targeted databases built to very qualified candidates that are just looking for the right opportunity. That allows you to target exactly who you're trying to reach with a budget that is customized just for you. Learn about all the possibilities by going to alphamediadigital.com today. Find your next star employee with alphamediadigital.com.
RocketGrabPlus.com. Summer is here, the perfect time to save a full price when you know that you can save at RocketGrabPlus.com. You can check out all of our deals going on right now from Tri-City Motor Speedway, One Up Games and Repairs, JB's Market in Munger, Norrie's of Auburn, Daylight Outfitters, and more. Half off? Yeah, it's true. And it's all at RocketGrabPlus.com.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
Why choose proven quality sleep from Sleep Number? Because our Sleep Number 360 smart bed is really smart. It senses your movement and automatically adjusts to help keep you both comfortable. Plus, it's temperature balancing so you stay cool. It's even smart enough to know exactly how long, how well, and when you slept. Our smart sleepers get 28 minutes more. Sleep Number takes care of the science. All you have to do is sleep. Don't miss our weekend special. Save 50% on the Sleep Number 360 limited edition smart bed plus special financing. Ends Monday. To learn more, go to sleepnumber.com. Special financing subject to credit approval. Minimum monthly payments required. See store for details.
From the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Cloudy skies and 71 degrees at 10:05. Good morning, I'm Mike Pert. An online auction for Fashion Square Mall in Saginaw Township has ended with a bid for $10.8 million. The starting bid was set at $2.3 million. The auction started Monday and was scheduled to end at 11 a.m. Wednesday, but was extended slightly as multiple bids started to come in the final few minutes. Fashion Square Mall, which opened in 1972, went on the auction block after its previous owner, Namdar Realty Group of Great Neck, New York, defaulted on its $34.8 million mortgage with Wells Fargo. Auction organizers say the sale will not be considered final and the buyer's name will not be released until paperwork is completed. A Flint rapper was charged Wednesday for hiring a man to murder a Sterling Heights woman for $10,000 in 2020. A federal grand jury charged Clifton E. Terry III with multiple crimes, including conspiracy to commit murder for hire resulting in personal injury. According to the indictment, Terry solicited another man, Andre Sims of Grand Rapids, to murder a female Sterling Heights resident in exchange for the cash. Prosecutors claim that on the morning 8th, 2020, Sims drove to the victim's house and shot her multiple times. The victim survived, and the shooting was captured on a home security camera. Terry faces up to 20 years in prison and fines of up to $250,000 if convicted. Students from Northwood University are accepting donations as part of a commemorative event on September 11th to support first responders and the nation's 911 memorial. Members of Northwood's Kappa Sigma chapter flags around the campus to represent those who lost their lives in the attacks, as well as host a stair climb at Hance Stadium. Students will begin at climbing a total of 2,200 steps at 8:46 a.m., the same time the first World Trade Center tower was struck in 2001. Funds raised from the donations will go to the National September 11th Memorial and Museum, the FDNY Foundation, and Folds of Honor. WSGW News Time, 10:07.
We show up the fun and excitement.
50 years ago, a jackpot started growing in Michigan. Inspired by fun and prizes for players, this jackpot has helped local businesses.
Winning a lottery ticket was sold at the family market.
And led to over $26 billion in support for Michigan public schools. Today, the jackpot is still growing, and the goodness it's spreading is a win for everyone. The Michigan Lottery. For fun, for schools, for 50 years. Knowing your limits is always the best bet.
Mark your calendars for all the fun at Our Kids World Back to School Edition. Saturday, September 24th at Sarah Automotive in Saginaw. This free kids event will help kick off the school year with bounce houses, fun games, much more. Sarah Automotive invites you out from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. to join in all the action. If you or your organization would like to participate, call 989-752-3456. Our Kids World Back to School Edition. Saturday, September 24th, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Sponsored by Sarah Automotive and Francis Ray Academy.
WSGW News Time, 10:08. The weather forecast is coming up. 2 men convicted this week of plotting to kidnap Governor Gretchen Whitmer will be sentenced December 12th. Adam Fox and Barry Croft Jr. of Delaware face up to life in prison after a jury Tuesday found them guilty of a conspiracy to kidnap the governor because they were upset over COVID-19 policies in 2020. Defense attorneys are expected to appeal the verdicts. Meantime, the U.S. Attorney's Office in West Michigan has filed a request to reduce Ty Garbin's sentence because of his testimony in the retrial. Garbin pleaded guilty to a conspiracy charge last year and was sentenced to just over 6 years in prison. The feds say from inmates who support Croft and Fox. Governor Whitmer will participate in 2 statewide televised general election debates, but what about Tudor-Dixon? Here's Michigan News Network's Rob Mason.
One debate is to be held October 13th in Grand Rapids, the other in Detroit, October 25th. The governor has agreed to the debates, but even though the governor's opponent, Tudor-Dixon, says she's looking forward to debating, she insists that the debates must start before voting begins, not after. The Whitmer campaign states decisions were made consistent with past precedent for Michigan gubernatorial elections. The debates, as scheduled, will be televised statewide.
Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel has announced charges against an Ogama County Sheriff's deputy after he allegedly used excessive force against an autistic adult at an assisted living home. According to the Attorney General's office, Deputy Matthew Viviano allegedly used the force against the adult residents of Premier Care Assisted Living Home in 2021. The victim was alleged to have assaulted one of the caretakers and was reported to be out of control. Ogama Sheriff's Deputy Michael Odell and state police troopers responded to the scene. Law enforcement present at the facility described the victim as not able to effectively communicate and showing signs of emotional distress. They reported his movements did not appear assaultive or threatening. WSGW News Time 1010. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW Weatherology forecast. We'll see a few scattered showers and thunderstorms possible late today. Otherwise, cloudy skies, a high around 80 degrees. Winds out of the southwest around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, a chance for showers and thunderstorms. Cloudy skies, a low near 64. Friday, partial sunshine develops, high 78 degrees. Then on Saturday, mostly sunny skies and a high around 80. Sunday, partial sunshine develops, high around 87 degrees. And then by Monday, a chance for some rain showers here with cloudy skies around 87. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW Weatherology forecast. Currently, it's 68.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
And welcome back to hour number 2 of the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW. I'm in my Saginaw Spirit Home studio. Glad to have you with us on this Thursday morning. We're going to begin the hour talking about a walk for Alzheimer's coming up in Saginaw soon. There are also walks scheduled in Bay and Midland counties. And from the Alzheimer's Association, the manager of those walks, we say good morning to Giavanna Accardo. Giavanna, good morning.
Yes, good morning. How are you doing?
We're doing well. Thanks for being with us today.
Good, thank you.
So let's start with a little bit of an overview. These Alzheimer walks have been around how long now?
Yeah, so we have this one coming up in Saginaw. This is our 12th year here in Saginaw. So, we're pretty experienced. We got a lot of committee members who have been here since day one. So we're going on year 12 this year.
And where is the walk held?
Yeah, so this year it is going to be at the Saginaw Township Soccer Complex off of McCurdy Road.
And so let's talk about the purpose of these walks.
Yeah, so our Walk to End Alzheimer's is just that. Alzheimer's has taken over so many of our lives, whether it's, we know somebody, we're caregiving for somebody. So we are walking to raise awareness and funds for Alzheimer's care, support, and research. So, it is the world's largest event to do so, and we plan all year for this. So, we're just looking to raise awareness and the funds to end Alzheimer's one day.
So how do people participate? What do they need to do?
Yeah, so obviously you can show up on Walk Day. It is this year in Saginaw. It is on Saturday, September 10th, so just over 2 weeks away, and it starts at 9 a.m. for registration. So you can show up on Walk Day if you're looking for a last-minute event to go to, but we do encourage beforehand to sign up. We have a website, and that website is going to be act.alz.org. On this page, you can go directly and register your own team. And from here, you can create a team name. You can have your family, friends, coworkers join your team. And you can raise funds to support the Alzheimer's Association and our mission. So, obviously it is free to register, but we do encourage that fundraising, and you have many incentives along the way. Different goals to hit and different prizes you may be able to win. So, easy to sign up. You can just show up on Walk Day and register there too.
So let's talk about that fundraising for a minute. You put together a team. how do you fundraise? What's expected of the team?
Yeah, so, like I said, it's free to register. We just encourage fundraising. So, the Alzheimer's Association, we do provide, coaching tools in order to help you reach your fundraising goals. And, to each their own with fundraising, however you want to do it, stick to like online Facebook fundraising, or we have people who do annual events, whether it's like bake sales or car washes, car shows, bingo night. We have many different ways for you to fundraise. And if, you have something that, you're good at, whether you have a garage sale every year or something, that's one way to raise the funds. But honestly, the ideas are endless, and we have many ideas for you to get started if you're kind of stuck. But really just something to add, maybe if you're doing it with your coworkers, some friendly competition between each other, who can raise the most money. But like I said, the Alzheimer's Association, we provide all those tools and resources for you if, you need somewhere to get started.
And the walk itself, how long does this take? How far do you walk?
Yeah, so normally we like to shoot for like a 5K, but given our neighborhoods and, our walks, this year it's about 2 miles. So in Saginaw, like I said, we start at the Saginaw Township Soccer Complex, right off of McCarty Road. We walk around the complex, down to McCarty Road, all the way down to Bay Road, wrap back around to Mackinac Road, and then come back to the soccer complex. So it's just over 2 miles for that walk, but, normally we like to shoot for a 5K.
And ages doesn't matter, does it?
No, we encourage everybody to come join us. We have people of all ages and abilities participate every year. So, whether you're 5 months old or, 80 years old, we want you to come join us and experience the day with us.
And I know we'll talk about this in the future, but what are the dates of the Bay and the Midland walks?
Yeah, so Bay City is going to be October 1st, and Midland is going to be, and they're both Saturdays, both the same times. In Bay City, we're going to be at Winona Park, and in Midland on the October 8th, we're going to be on the Dow Diamond Lawn.
All right, so again, give everybody the website where they can get more information.
Yeah, so our general website is going to be alz.org/walk. And from here, if you're interested in any of the 3 walks, you can, search by zip code and find Saginaw, Bay City, or Midland.
Very good. Well, listen, we wish you well with them, Giavanna. And again, the 12th one in Saginaw. And we hope you do very well with it.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me. I look forward to seeing many faces this year on September 10th.
All right. Very good. Thanks a lot. Take care now.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
You too. Bye.
Giavanna Accardo, she is with the Alzheimer's Association. She manages the Saginaw Bay and Midland Alzheimer walks coming up. All right. We will return now to our open phone format here on WSGW, whatever you'd like to chat about. 989-752-6111 for the remainder of the hour. Give us a call, and let's get the conversation going. We'll be back with more here on the Art Lewis Show.
Hi, this is Evelyn McGovern, the president of Women of Colors. Last year, Women of Colors was awarded a 1-year grant from the Michigan Endowment Fund to determine why 20 Americans do not receive follow-up care in behavioral health care services compared to other populations in Saginaw County. Well, Women of Colors is excited to report the findings on August 25th at 5:30 p.m. at the Saginaw Arts Museum. We are asking community members, service providers, and the participants of this project to join us in this community effort. You would be astounded of the findings. Featuring motivational speaker Albert Gay, all the way from Gary, Indiana. Discuss of diversity, equity, and inclusion. Sponsored by the Michigan Endowment Fund.
How do you make the most of your land? If you ask the Wrens, who run with us on a John Deere mower, they tell you,
I mow first, then I do all the trimming,
But the Hubbards, who work behind the wheel of a John Deere compact tractor, would say, if it's something you want, just go after it and try it. Then there's the Mosers. The main mention from the seat of their John Deere Gator UTV. You can't be all work and not play. There are millions of ways to make the most of your land. Learn how to make the most of yours at Deere.com. Nothing runs like a Deere.
Are you tired of high cable TV per dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last? Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your dish authorized retailer now.
800-296-1251. 800-296-1251. That's 800-296-1251.
Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
The number of new claims for unemployment benefits last week 1,000 to 243,000. It's an improvement and fewer than economists were expecting. The number of continuing claims, those still receiving benefits, also declined to 1.42 million. And the Commerce Department just updated the second quarter gross domestic product. It says the economy declined 0.6% in the spring, though it indicates a slowdown. It's not as severe as initially estimated, and consumer spending rose 1.5% in the spring, a positive sign. Shoppers have been heading to Dollar General for bargains. The discount chain says sales at existing stores were up 4.6% in the recent quarter. Increase in customer traffic and increased sales of grocery items. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
The Tunnel to Towers Foundation has been supporting America's heroes and their families since 9/11. U.S. Army Specialist Jason Wheeler is one such hero. He re-enlisted after 9/11, but training accident injuries left him unable to walk. Specialist Wheeler and his family received a mortgage-free smart home that's custom designed for his needs. Help heroes like Jason and their families. Join Tunnel to Towers' mission to do good in their honor. Donate $11 a month. .org.
Do you owe the IRS $8,000 or more? Are you a few years behind in filing? Are you going through an audit and have no idea what to do? You need an ally. Fast, because the IRS is ramping up its collection tactics again. Allies Tax Relief Negotiators can protect you from all IRS collections, but you have to call them today. Their team of enrolled agents, tax attorneys, and CPAs are your allies to fixing all of your tax problems. Here's Thomas, a thankful client of Allies Tax Relief.
I owed the IRS $46,000 and my wages were about to get garnished. I knew I needed an ally, so I called Allies Tax Relief. IRS from taking money out of my paycheck and fixed everything. I walked away paying the IRS next to nothing. Thank you, Allies Tax Relief.
Take the first steps to getting the IRS off your back. Call Allies Tax Relief for a free consultation. 800-957-0325. That's 800-957-0325. 800-957-0325.
Your home for Michigan Wolverines football is WSGW. The defending Big Ten champions are ready to prove that last year was not a fluke.
He's going to go down the sideline. Blake Corum. Touchdown, Michigan. Donovan Edwards on the right at the 5. Touchdown, Michigan. He's in the end zone. Pick 6. DJ Turner.
The season kicks off against the Colorado State Rams at the Big House on Saturday, September 3rd. Game day coverage at 11 a.m. with kickoff at noon on 790 News Radio WSGW. The history.
2-1. Listen to 106,000 fans.
The tradition.
Baskin scores his 5th of the day.
The memories.
And he fires toward the end zone. Touchdown! Mario Manningham, and Michigan will.
All is on WSGW.
This raid on the president.
News coverage.
This hoax.
It's not a hoax.
A witch hunt.
Talk shows.
It's not a witch hunt.
Around the clock.
Top secret. Pretty serious statues leveled at the president.
News coverage on WSGW.
All right, we're back with you on the Art Lewis Show on our open line edition. Let's go to phones here. Rachel is in Bay City. Rachel, good morning.
Hi, good morning, Art.
Morning.
Hey, I wanted to weigh in on the student loan.
Yep.
And everyone is discussing it and all excited and what does this mean and blah 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 blah. Well, what it is a lie. It is a complete and total lie, like every other thing that comes out of these radical libs mouths.
How is it a lie?
It's a lie because, like everything else that comes out of their mouth, it's a 100% distraction. This is an election year. All they want is for everyone to go blah 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 blah, blah talking about student loans and not paying attention to all of the harm and evil.
Well, yeah. All right. Let's.
All right. That are really going on.
All right. Let's. Wait. Let's just a minute, Rachel. Just a minute.
Okay.
When you say it's a lie, you're implying that what he said was a lie. That's not true. It's not a lie. It may be a lie for the reasons. It may be a lie for the reasons stated, but it's not a lie that he's going to forgive $10,000 in student loan debt. That's not a lie. That's reality. Well, apparently he is. So you and I are going to pay for it.
This is going to be tied up in legal avenues, channels forever. Their purpose of coming out and saying, oh, yes, we're absolutely going to do this is just only to hopefully buy a handful of youngins' vote.
No, I don't disagree with that. Yeah. That's why they put off. That's why they put off the repayment, because otherwise the bills would come due before the election.
Oh yeah, so keep doing that too. But no, this is all fake. It's not true, and it's not going to go down like that. It's just only to distract people because it's election time. That's it. Period. It's not real.
All right. Well, there are a lot of people that hold that opinion.
Yep. Thank you, Art.
You bet. Take care, Rachel.
Bye-bye.
And let's go up to Ogama, talk to Hound Dog. Morning, Hound Dog.
Hey, Art. Yes, sir. I could top any Alzheimer's stories I think people got. And I just think it's pretty bad. And, see, I'm losing it. All right. But just take care of them the best you can. Even if they can walk around. Oh, yeah, they can walk. They can walk fine.
Well, the people walking are not the Alzheimer's victims. The Alzheimer's victims are the ones we're trying to help. And I hear it in your voice. You must have had experience.
Yes, sir. And I'm still alive, but,
Yep, gotcha.
But you gotta, if they see monkeys in the trees, you gotta go with them and try to catch a monkey. But I won't Alzheimer's, let's just say that. But because it's pretty bad.
Yep, it is. And we need to find an answer for it, and research is being done, lots of research, but it takes lots of money too.
Yeah, geniuses and nurses and mechanical engineers, they can all get it.
Anybody can get it.
Yeah, and I just wanted to tell people that,
All right, we got it.
I ain't gonna say let them hit you in the head with a hammer like I did, but you can help them.
Yep, very good. All right, Hound Dog, appreciate it, and take care of yourself. It's important. It's a serious, Alzheimer's is a serious problem in this country. It affects a lot of people, and it's devastating to families because now all of a sudden families have to become caretakers who may never have done that before and don't know how to do it, or face huge bills in housing Alzheimer's patients in facilities that can take care of them. And it just tears people apart. No two ways about it. All the dementias can do that, but Alzheimer's in particular. So these walks are done for a purpose. They're done to raise money and help fund research and help take care of people that need that help. All right, Mark is in Mount Pleasant. Good morning, Mark.
Good morning, Art. How are you, sir?
I'm fine.
Hey, lately there's been some guest on that talks about inclusion and more or less equality and so forth in the black community and injustice. Lately going on, but Berkeley out in California has to where white people cannot walk in the commons area unless they get a request to even walk in the commons area. So why aren't those type of stories there? There's also a teacher that was out there that converted her room, her first grade or second grade room over. Yeah.
Well, she got
stories out there.
Yeah, but you just mentioned it. I mean, you know the story's there because you saw it someplace, and she got a lot of negative attention for that. Maybe not in California, but elsewhere she did.
Right. But that stuff happens out there, and just like in Berkeley, that out in California, that
Berkeley.
stuff happens.
It's California.
As far as segregating.
Yeah, they want to tell the nation how they're leaders. And in fact, in my world, they live in a backward community. I'm just saying it's not equal out there, when we're being told equality and injustice and stuff, but it's on both sides, to be honest with you. I just see it on both sides, and it's only through news stories that I see it. Yeah, well, that's it. The other thing, California, here's one of the reasons I don't pay attention to California. They just put up some billboards telling Californians, don't move to Texas. And the reason they're imploring people not to move to Texas is because of the Uvalde shootings. Well, have they not had any shootings in California? Have they not had any crime in California? Excuse me? Give me a break.
Right.
I'd get out of California as fast as I can. I mean, I'd run. It's a great place to visit for a few days, but then get out.
Right, and then in New York, the housing crisis or the homeless crisis, I guess they're putting them in high-end hotels.
Yeah.
The people that are being bused.
Yeah.
Now, if I stayed there and spent $400, I mean, how is that not fair? As far as you're putting somebody that's coming across the border illegally into a $400 a night hotel.
You made a mistake. If you wanted to stay in that hotel, you should have first gone to Texas. And then got on the bus and came to New York, and then you'd have that hotel.
Right.
I don't understand that. I mean, it's amazing to me, these mayors, Washington, D.C., New York, crying foul when, by the same token, they've said nothing about the people coming across the border and how it impacts Texas and Arizona and all the border states. They say nothing at all. They don't tell the president, you got to stop the flow of people. They only complain when all of a sudden it impacts them.
Exactly. Yep. You're exactly right on that.
All right.
All right.
Have a good one. Take care. Bye-bye now.
You too. Take care. Bye.
Yeah, I mean, it's I think, listen, Governor Scott is an interesting cat, the guy that the governor of Texas. And he's making a point. And it's a point being felt in places like Washington, D.C. and New York, where these folks had nothing to say about everybody coming across the border. They thought that was great. Open borders are wonderful. Well, now you're going to find out how wonderful they are. What a way to make a point. What a way to make a point. Pat, are you there? I'll tell you what, let's take a break. Patrick has a few thoughts for us this morning, and I'm always intrigued with Patrick's thoughts. So we will be back to find out what's on his mind after these notes.
It's Bourbon and Bacon at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort, Saturday, September 24th. Don't miss classic rock legends 38 specials. Enjoy an evening of tasty barbecue and bacon dishes from top local restaurants like House of Barbecue, the Making Bacon food truck, and more. Plus a great lineup of bourbon cocktails to keep you rocking into the night. Bourbon and Bacon with 38 specials, September 24th at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. For tickets and info, visit bourbonbaconfest.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well,
Trying to find a needle in a haystack? Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And now you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. That's ZipRecruiter.com/trial. ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
Dan owed an unbelievable amount of money to the IRS.
I got behind on my taxes. It's a horrible feeling.
He was in denial.
And when I got those letters from the IRS, you wanted to act like they didn't exist.
Finally, Dan turned to Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion.
Optima got me a settlement with the IRS. These people are really people-friendly. It was every bit of a new lease on life for me.
The fast action and the great results made Dan's head spin.
I felt like I was in a dream, but it's real. And I have paperwork to prove it. They got the job done, and life is good.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation.
If you're worried about what's going to happen with the IRS, stop worrying. Make the call now.
Call 800-364-9188. 800-364-9188. 800-364-9188.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
On the next Markley Van Camp and Robbins show, Biden's Christmas for beta males and cat ladies. That sounds redundant to me. I don't know.
Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins. Weekdays at noon on 100.5 and 790. News Radio WSGW. This is the premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and design centers. SGW.
All right, we are back with you on the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW. Lines are open for you at 989-752-6111. I'm sitting down in my seat. I'm holding on to the arms tightly and waiting to hear what Pat Justin has to say this morning. Patrick, good morning.
Hey, good morning. No, I just want to, I've talked about this with you before and, about the student loans. And
yeah.
I saw this statistic from the National Center for Education Statistics. This is what they posted. This was from last year. Said baby boomers needed 306 hours of minimum wage work to pay for 4 years of public college. Millennials need over 4,400 hours.
Yeah. Cost of college is out of sight.
Well, everything's out of sight.
Well, everything is, but the cost of college,
Yeah.
I think, has gone up
Now-
way beyond reason in a lot of cases.
Where I've always looked at this is that it is twofold, and I sympathize with those who say, okay, so pay the money now, but the system is still the system, right? So what about the next people who are going to come in and the people after that?
Yep.
And yeah, you're right. That is a debate and a long debate on how we get things under control, because I do think that universities have upped their tuition to unbelievable amounts because they know maybe they can. So I think there is wasteful spending on the university side.
See if you would agree with me on this. Part of this, at least part of this, started the minute the government started guaranteeing the loans.
I would say, I mean, that's an interesting point, but I would say, in my opinion, when tuition started going up, it's when states started cutting taxes big time, and we were no longer spending as much on education, especially higher education.
Oh, definitely, that's part of it. I mean, you talk to educators like Saginaw Valley at one time, years ago, got 80% of their budget from the state.
Yes.
Now it's down to 20 or less.
Less than that. It's around 17%,
So,
I believe.
You're absolutely, that's certainly part of the equation. It's not one thing. There's no doubt about it.
I think there's a few things. So I also look at it this way, and I've told you this, that you have a generation of kids who get out of college and they have so much debt. They can't go and buy cars. They can't go out and buy a house. They can't go and really participate in our economy. So when I hear some people saying, well, okay, it's going to cost us $400 billion, we're going to end up paying for it. Well, guess what, everybody? We're already paying for it.
Of course
because
we are.
They're not helping us with our economy because they can't.
That's a given.
Something's got to be done to bring down the cost a little bit.
Well,
and I'll tell you what.
You and I are in total agreement on that. I think you have to go to the source of the problem, and that's the cost of education. I'll give you an example you and I can relate to. I was told the other day that if you, Pat Johnston, that 19-year-old with stars in his eyes, went to college to earn a broadcasting degree from your wife, it would cost you somewhere in the neighborhood of $100,000.
Uh-huh.
Now, you know what people in broadcasting get paid when they enter the industry. How long is it going to take them to pay that off? Will they ever?
This is why they might not go to. This is why you're seeing some. This is why you're seeing some polls showing that kids are reluctant to even go to a college now.
Bingo, absolutely.
However, though, the statistics still show that if you, now again, this is on average, if you go to a 4-year university and get your degree, you're most likely to make more money than those who don't. Now, that's on average. That's an average.
That's on average.
That's on average.
But also remember,
there are different cases.
Remember that for years and years, we told all these young minds full of mush that they had to go to college. That was the answer to everything. We ignored the trades. Guess what? You could go out and become a welder and make just as much, if not more, than the average college graduate.
Absolutely. And which is why I have always been an advocate that I think we should help people if they want to go to a 4-year college, and that we should also be spending more for those who want to get into a vocational school.
Oh, amen. I agree with you. I agree with you.
I agree with you on this, is that we all end up paying for it anyway. So why don't we just do it from the beginning? Get everybody educated and get them out there into our economy and participating in our economy the best way they can.
That's fine. You still have to pay for it somehow.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
No matter how you do it, how you do it, you got to pay for it.
I will say this too. I think everybody's concentrating on the 10,000 and the 20,000, which I think is big. I've talked to some people who are younger than me, and they're saying that that's going to help them. It is.
There's no doubt. There's going to be those that are going to be helped.
I think another part though is that they're cutting down. What was it? It's going down from 10% to 5%. I think the interest. I think that was the other thing that President Biden said something yesterday, and I think that's also pretty big too, to cut that down a little bit.
Of course. When these government loans came out, they were like at 1%, 1.5%.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Now we're going to cut it to 5%, and it's a big deal.
Also, though, I just want to say this though too. I'm hearing some people say, "Oh, this isn't fair. This isn't fair." Well, guess what? I have been paying taxes for things that I didn't like, and I didn't find them fair either. So join the club, everybody. And yes, why won't politicians? You've said it before, Art. Why won't politicians really go after Social Security, or they won't touch Medicare?
We vote.
The older. Yeah, that's right. 65 and older. You guys vote big time. Well.
You got it.
So this is when it comes to student loans. Gen Z and millennials, they are a big voting bloc, and so hey, of course, this is political too.
Here's the problem with that.
Of course, it is.
Here's the problem with that, though. The younger generation does not go to the polls at the rate the older generation does. That's been proven in elections.
Oh, of course. Now, millennials, though, you have to remember now,
No, they're kind of in the middle.
41 now.
Yeah, they're in the middle.
So now they're getting up there. So, and a lot of them still have debt. So this is one way, because they're starting to vote, And the statistics are showing that millennials are really starting to vote too, and probably voting at higher numbers than my generation, Gen X. We didn't even see, like, our boomers. They had a name, boomers. Millennials have a name, millennials. My generation, we didn't have anything. They just called us X.
Yeah. Well, my generation too. They just called us older.
There we go. But no, I just look at it this way. I don't find this to be the worst thing in the world, and I just find that it helps the overall economy in the end.
Well, that's to be seen.
But you still have to do something about the problem. Yeah. And that is where the big debate, I think, has to happen here soon. What to do to control the cost of college from here on out. Yes.
No, and I fully agree. I mean, that to me, and I've said that before, that's the root of that's the cause of the matter. It's the root of the whole thing, is what it costs. Because if college were reasonable, and certainly the other thing too, is I'm not sure we do enough to publicize all of the available funding options that are out there in terms of scholarships, grants, and what have you. I think we need to do a better job so that people don't feel the first line of action is to go out and get a loan. Explore the other avenues first. There are lots of them.
Yeah, that is true.
There are lots of them. So
you do have a call. Do you want to take it now or wait till after the break?
Let me put it up on the screen there, and I'll wait till after the break because I don't want to get behind here. So Thank you, Patrick.
No, thank you.
Talk to you. We'll be back after these notes.
This is Jason from Applied Training Solutions in the Midland Mall. We are the Midwest's premier self-defense academy. From our state-of-the-art digital firearm range to open-hand self-defense classes, we are building a safer community one student at a time. We offer concealed pistol license classes that combine both live fire and digital range training. Online at simurange.com and Facebook at ATS Midland. Apply forward thinking on target training.
I know Michiganders are seeing rising prices at the gas pump, pharmacy counter, and the grocery store. This is Dan Kildee, and my top priority is fighting inflation. I've introduced legislation to suspend the federal gas tax, cap the cost of insulin, and lower prices at the grocery store by improving supply chains. I'll keep working with Democrats and Republicans in Congress to lower costs for you.
Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
Feel like summer is flying by? Are you looking for entertaining family activities or to take a musical journey through? Saginaw Arts and Enrichment Commission and Wsgw invite you to join in the fun as Saginaw celebrates summer. Presented by Hemlock Semiconductor. There's still plenty to see and do throughout Saginaw and the riverfront area. For a complete list of events and activities, visit artsaginaw.org. And for daily updates on all the excitement, keep listening to WSGW.
RocketGrabPlus.com. This deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is for Johnson's Pumpkin Farm in Saginaw. With this deal, you are getting a $50 gift certificate for only $25. You can explore the corn cider, and don't forget about the donuts. Get ready for Halloween this year by picking out for your next jack-o'-lantern. Head over to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal.
RocketGrabPlus.com. Do you know what people see when they Google you? Search engines don't always get it right. And when they're wrong, it's your reputation on the line. So what do you do when you don't agree with your search results? Call Reputation Defender at 800-401-6681. Reputation Defender by Norton is one of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. We have over a decade of experience in fixing people's search. You too. Using cutting-edge approaches, Reputation Defender pushes unflattering information down to lower pages of your search results. We also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, letting you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. You owe it to yourself to take control with Reputation Defender. Visit www.reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 for free advice on your situation. 800-401-6681.
You could win a family 4-pack of tickets to see the Tigers play. Up for the WSGW newsletter. The WSGW newsletter is free. It will arrive in your inbox each weekday morning. You'll find links to the top local news stories covered by WSGW. Local news from Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, and the surrounding Great Lakes Bay region. Get signed up for the WSGW newsletter by September 7th for your chance to win the family 4-pack of Tigers tickets. Sign up online at WSGW.com.
All right, we're back here on WSGW and back to our phones. Lee is in Saginaw. Lee, good morning.
Good morning, Art. I want to. First off, I'm morally, I'm against people making debts and expecting other people to pay them off.
All right, that's good.
That just doesn't sit well with me. A lot of these kids are going to college, and they're spending $100,000, $150,000, whatever, going into debt up to their eyeballs, and they're doing it for a degree. It's not worth the paper that it's printed on.
It depends on what you study. Yeah.
I know, but what I'm saying, I know a lady who's got a master's, and she waits tables because.
Well, let's stop there for a minute, because remember this. Just having the master's degree doesn't mean you're competent at the particular job you're going for, that you're qualified for it. There are a lot of people who are degree smarts and life stupid. And by that, I mean, they can't get a job because of the way they present themselves, and all kinds of reasons. So I don't necessarily look at that as representative of the whole thing. There are obviously people who have degrees who are not living up to the degrees. I will agree with you 100% on that. But you also have to look at the reasons for it. Is it because of the degree that's useless, or is it because of the person and how they use it? There's more than one thing at play here.
I understand. I understand somebody can be heavy in degrees, but as far as, but they're socially inept, trying to get a job for them.
Common sense is gone, right? Yes.
Right. But I'm focusing on, if you get a degree in underwater basket weaving and you sunk $150,000 into getting that.
Yep.
That's where I'm going. Is their own ignorance.
Yeah. However, the other side of that coin is, if you took that $150,000 and you got a degree in internet technology or some form of a medical, a nurse maybe, you'd do very well. You will be able to pay that back, and you will do very, very well. So yeah, the degree
makes very good money.
Yeah, what you do with your degree, what type of degree you get, determines what your future is going to be.
And that's not. Why do we have to pay for somebody who? I know kids who went to college and they used some of their loans so they could live off campus.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And I think that's wrong.
You know, so there's a lot of problems here, and it's not just college is way overpriced. I understand that. But it's also overpriced too. If you look at every year how much the federal government backs in loans, well, the colleges they just rate that.
Yeah. Well,
So
it's you know, it all goes together, and you can't remove one piece without addressing the other piece, and that's where we're at. They want to do one thing, but they don't want to address the root cause. And until they do, this problem isn't going to go away.
The best way to help solve this problem is put it back on the colleges. A lot of these colleges got billions of dollars in
in their endowment funds. Yep.
Yes.
Part of that, absolutely. Absolutely. All right.
Okay, Art.
Good enough, Lee. Hey, I appreciate it. Thanks. Bye-bye now. Yep. Carl is in Bay City. Carl, good morning.
Good morning. Art, I have a solution. I went to college in the late. I received a national defense loan. And what it said is this. I became they said, if you become a teacher and you teach in an impacted area, an area where it was difficult to get teachers, we would give you, if you stayed there for 5 years, we would forgive your $5,000 loan. Now, it would seem to me we are short of teachers and policemen right now. you could say to these people, okay, we'll do this. If you go into teaching and get a job in an area where they cannot find a teacher, then we'll give you, $1,000 a year for 5 years, but you have to stay the full 5 years, or the same thing with police. Now, it would seem to me that you would then help fill up areas where you need workers, and you're giving the person an opportunity. Now, teachers are underpaid, so this person is actually getting a $2,000 incentives, and so would policemen. But it would seem to me that makes more sense. I think Americans would be more willing to say, okay, let's do this because we need teachers right now.
It would be called conditional forgiveness. Here's the conditions of your forgiveness. Now, I'll tell you what. Here's another one. Here's an opportunity to get a free education. Go join the military for a couple of years.
Yeah,
the military is hurting in many areas where recruiting is down. Go join the military. Not only will it transform you into a good citizen, you'll come out with respect for authority and all of those things, but you'll come out with a GI Bill.
Right.
So,
both of those things to me make sense, but I really think, especially now with the inability to find teachers.
Yep. That's not a bad idea.
Really, I had a national defense loan. I taught in an impacted area for 5 years.
Yeah.
They sent me a notice saying you have done your service. Thank you.
Yeah.
And your loan is forgiven.
There you go.
I stayed in that school district for another 3 or 4 years before I moved out. But that, to me, that at least we are getting something back.
Absolutely. Something for our money. All right.
That's right.
Carl, I got to run for time, but I appreciate the thoughts. Good ones. Thanks.
Okay.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye now. We'll be back to close out the Art Lewis Show after these notes.
This is Rachel from the SVRC. 203 South Washington, right on Riverfront Saginaw. Support small and keep the community alive. Our downtown Saginaw Farmers Market continues to have fresh produce and good eats. Global flavors and American favorites like Saigon sandwich and cob cake keep all our indoor eats exciting. Sweet treats with the one and only delicious sweets. And our retail therapy from Thrive Creative Innovations and welcoming Ohana Clothing. Support small at the SVRC Marketplace, open Wednesday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Join us on Sunday, August 28th for our ride from the Riverfront event as we collaborate with exclusive car clubs. $10 registration, 9 to 5 p.m. Best in show with a $200 prize in top 40. Live in the boardroom and food right on Riverfront Saginaw. Mark your calendars. SVRC Cornhole Tournament on September 24th. We thank you for the continued support of our small businesses. Remember to shop local, eat local, support small business, and we hope to see you at the market.
The IRS doesn't mess around. If they want your money, they'll take it. They can take your paycheck and bank accounts too, even threaten your home or business. Don't take on the IRS alone. If you owe back taxes, the smartest thing you can do is call Optima Tax Relief. The experts at Optima specialize in a powerful IRS tax assistance program called the Fresh Start Initiative, and their clients that qualify are saving thousands. The process to stop the demand letters, stop aggressive collection actions, and stop the IRS from targeting you. But don't delay. It's important to act now while you still have options. Optima is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. Optima has already resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. Get your life back. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, call Optima now for your free consultation.
Call 800-364-9188. 800-364-9188. 800-364-9188.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
You have the chance to win $1,000 for your favorite school or charity. It's the WSGW Back to School Contest. To play, simply visit WSGW.com and click on the Back to School Contest box. You can enter up to once per day with bonus entry opportunities too. Deadline to enter is August 31st. Winner determined by random drawing. $1,000 for you and $1,000 for your favorite school or charity. The Back to School Contest at WSGW.com.
Your home for Detroit Tigers baseball is WSGW Green.
Swinging a fly ball, right center field. This one's deep. How about it? Way back and go! Absolute bomb! time over the deepest part of the right center field wall. Tigers take a 1-0 lead.
Tigers Baseball, brought to you in part by Stevens Cycle, Lingle Equipment Company. Detroit Tigers Baseball is on WSGW.
All right, that'll wrap up the Art Lewis Show for this Thursday. We're going to move over for Focus, and we're going to talk about the READ Association with its director, Cynthia Pape. That will be coming up right after the news, which is next here on WSGW.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by General Steel.
I'm Steve Kafin. The school police chief, Pete Arredondo, has been fired in Uvalde, Texas, 3 months after the elementary school massacre. CBS's Janet Shamlian says it's seen as the start of a reckoning after the heavily criticized police response.
The feeling is Arredondo. It's just the start. A $27 billion lawsuit is expected to be filed on behalf of survivors and families. It will name the Uvalde School District, but could also include the law enforcement agencies that responded, as well as the guns manufacturer.
It's deadline day for the Justice Department to submit redactions to the FBI affidavits for the Mar-a-Lago search. CBS's Stephen Portnoy.
There's no telling when Magistrate Judge Bruce Reinhart will make the redacted version of the affidavit public, but today is the deadline he set for prosecutors to suggest what should be blacked out. Reinhart has seen the full version, of course. He used it to authorize the search warrant. He signaled in an order early with the prosecutor's argument that harm could be done to the investigation and potentially to witnesses if too much is released.
Vladimir Putin has ordered the Russian military to increase the size of its armed forces by 137,000 amid the war in Ukraine. And there's word the nuclear plant in Ukraine that's in Russian-controlled territory has been pulled from the national power grid. A state board in California is set to vote today on a plan that would call for all new vehicles sold in the state to be powered by electricity or hydrogen by the year 2035. Ben Wu is one car owner who's already gone electric.
It's been great. Very little maintenance, gasoline station, a little waiting line sometimes at the supercharger, but overall very good.
And California is in jeopardy of falling short of its goal for 250,000 charging stations by 2025. In Honolulu, a patient was killed, a paramedic hurt in a bizarre incident that Emergency Services Director Jim Ireland is investigating.
We had an ambulance tonight for reasons we don't understand, catch on fire, possibly explode prior to entering the hospital. This is something I've never seen before.
The government has revised its spring numbers on growth, saying the economy shrank at a 0.6 annual rate, not 0.9.
It tells us is that economic growth still shrank a little bit in the second quarter, but it wasn't as bad as we thought it was going to be.
Rick Newman of Yahoo Finance, new claims for jobless benefits fell last week. Novak Djokovic made it official today. He will not play in next week's U.S. Open. He's not vaccinated against COVID and can't travel to the U.S. Right now on Wall Street, the Dow is up 114. This is CBS News.
If you're a business owner renting or leasing, you can save a ton of money and own a custom-designed building made by General Steel. Just call 877-25-STEEL and get a quote today.
RocketGrabPlus.com. Deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is for Johnson's Pumpkin Farm in Saginaw. With this deal, you are getting a $50 gift certificate for only $25. You can explore the corn maze, get some cider, and don't forget about the donuts. Get ready for Halloween this year by picking out the perfect pumpkin for your next jack-o'-lantern. Head over to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal.
RocketGrabPlus.com. I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're speaking another language. Like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right. And they're designed by real language teachers, so you learn how to have real-world conversations, things you'll actually use.
3
After 3 weeks, I'm on vacation in Paris, having a conversation in French.
There's all kinds of ways to learn. Use Babbel's podcasts or games or videos. You can even join live classes with a language teacher.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
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 Babbel. Évidemment.
Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
The Labor Day event from Dell Technologies is here. End the summer strong by starting up a new season of productivity. Your business upgrade begins with up to 48% off top-rated laptops, like Vostro, taking performance to the next level with 12th Gen Intel Core processors. It's time to push your growing business even further. What's next for you? Upgrade today by calling 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
From the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Cloudy skies and 75 degrees at 11:05. Good morning, I'm Mike Perchup. A Saginaw man pleaded no contest to violating the Michigan Fireworks Safety Act, causing serious bodily impairment yesterday in Saginaw County Circuit Court. In July 2019, 31-year-old Lewis Jones Jr. and others left Evergreen Tavern in Hemlock with Jones in the rear of the vehicle. Prosecutors say he began lighting fireworks and throwing them out the window as the car drove down the road. One of the mortars exploded inside the vehicle, injuring Jones and 3 others. Jones is a 4-time habitual offender, meaning he could be sentenced to life in prison for the act. However, Judge Manvel Trice told Jones he would use the low-end sentencing guidelines of 12 to 76 months if Jones could remain out of trouble from now until December 3rd. In exchange for Jones' plea, prosecutors have also agreed to drop charges of possessing bombs with unlawful intent causing serious injury, possessing an explosive device causing serious injury, and possession of an explosive device. A renowned author is coming to Bay City next month. Kate Quinn, author of The Alice Network and The Diamond Eye, is a New York Times and USA Today bestselling author of historical fiction. Her works include the eras of the Italian Renaissance and first century Rome, as well as the early 20th century. Quinn has been described as a breath of fresh air in the historical fiction genre and as a captivating way of storytelling that sticks with people long after they've turned the final page. The Friends of the Bay County Library System will present Quinn at an in-person author talk at Bay City State Theater September 27th at 7 p.m. The event will feature a presentation, question and answer session, and a book signing. For more information about the event, visit baycounty.org/event. To learn more about the author and her work, visit katequinnauthor.com. WSGW News Time 11:07.
Whether you work in the field or in the corner office, you know information is power. That's why Helena is putting data to work on farms across the country with Extractor. Extractor is an exclusive tissue analysis program used to monitor plant health in season. Using advanced technology, Extractor identifies nutrient deficiencies and offers custom recommendations to keep your crop growing at its best. Make better agronomic decisions this season with Extractor. To learn more, find your local Helena retailer at helenaagra.com.
For a farmer, every day is different, and every season tells its own story. Make this the year you do it your way. Coron Metra is a foliar fertilizer that lets you decide when the time is right for nutrition. Metra gives you flexibility, it gives your tank efficiency, and Metra gives nitrogen. Coron Metra, the next evolution in crop nutrition. Always read and follow label instructions and check registration before use.
WSGW News Time 11:08. The weather forecast is coming up next. Governor Gresham Whitmer has announced all Michigan families who are eligible for food assistance benefits will continue to receive at least an additional $95 monthly payment in August to help lower the cost of groceries and ensure Michiganders can keep more of their hard-earned money. The additional assistance will help more than 1.3 million Michiganders in more than 700,000 households. In April 2020, some Michigan residents began receiving additional food assistance under the program. In May 2021, all eligible households began getting the extra monthly benefits. Federal approval is necessary every month. Eligible clients who receive food assistance receive the additional benefits on their Bridge card by August 22nd. The benefits are loaded onto the cards as a separate earlier in the month. It's been a quiet hurricane season so far, according to AccuWeather meteorologist Brian Thompson, who says there has not been one named storm this month, and that is rare.
This would be just the third time in August that we would not have any storms developing. It's only happened since 1961. It's happened in 1961 and 1997. So pretty much every other year we've had a storm, a named storm, at least in the month of August.
Thompson's here. It says here in Michigan, it's shaping up to be a mild fall, but you cannot rule out an early frost. Kellogg Company has announced several key appointments to the future leadership team company, including Gary Pilnick to serve as chief executive officer. As announced in this past June, Kellogg Company plans to separate three of its businesses: Global Snacking Company, North American Cereal Company, and Plant Company, to enable each business to unlock its full standalone potential. Kellogg will continue to provide updates on the separation of itself into three independent companies. WSGW News Time 11:10. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW Weatherology forecast. We'll see a few scattered showers and thunderstorms possible late today, otherwise high around 80 degrees. Winds out of the southwest around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, a chance for showers and thunderstorms. Cloudy skies, a low near 64. Friday, partial sunshine develops, high 78 degrees. Then on Saturday, mostly sunny skies and a high around 80. Sunday, partial sunshine develops, high around 87 degrees. And then by Monday, a chance for some rain showers here with cloudy sky conditions, a high around 87. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW Weatherology forecast.
Currently, it's 71.
Now, it's time to focus. Who presents the people, the places, the businesses, the culture, the area events and activities, all put into focus on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
And welcome to this Thursday edition of Focus here on WSGW, sponsored by RoofMax, the safe, proven, and affordable alternative to expensive asphalt shingle roof replacement. Find out about RoofMax online at getroofmax.com or call Ben at 989-859-6751. That's RoofMax with two X's. Today we're going to learn about the READ Association here in the Saginaw area. And to do that, we say good morning to the president and director of the association, Cynthia Pape. Cynthia, good morning.
Good morning, Art. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for being with us today.
Sure.
Before we get into any details and nitty-gritty, let's do a little bit of an overview of the history of the READ Association and what it's all about.
Okay. The READ Association since 1966. It started with a group of pastors in the area that was trying to help students that were, had trouble with reading, had maybe dropped out of school, and just to provide some positive influences and role models for them, and at the same time giving them the support with reading that they needed. And that has grown to present day, 56 years later, of having 29 different locations across Saginaw County, where we have mentors going into schools and libraries, working with students, and becoming together and helping students to succeed and to growing their reading.
Is there a national model for this, or was this homegrown?
This is a grassroots effort right here from, started right here in Saginaw. There may be some similar programs, but READ is its own organization.
And, I assume it's a bad word, but I assume that an organization like this relies not only on funding, but also on volunteers.
Absolutely. That's, the READ Association, we've had the mentor program, but we've even expanded our programming beyond that. And so for each one of the things that we do, we are really reliant on the mentors and the other volunteers that help out to reach out to the students. We're a staff of 3, and at the same time, we're able to meet the needs of hundreds of children just because of the volunteers that we have. So we're very appreciative. eating of that.
Oh, go ahead.
No, just, of course, with COVID, things, we had to do some shifting and changing around with how we presented our programming. Instead of going into schools, we had a digital program. We created a book delivery program where we had volunteers come and select books based on parents would sign up for their children to receive free books, and we would have volunteers come to the office and select those books, and then they would also deliver them to the front porches of the families across Saginaw County. So, that takes a lot of volunteers to do that when we have 500 families sign up at a time. And then we have a Raising Readers Academy program where we also need volunteers to help with the families and learning ways to help their children with reading.
You're an educator by training, so let me ask you this question.
Sure.
How important are books today, given the fact that this young generation seems to want to bury their head in electronic devices?
For me, I feel like they are very significant. I think just, I guess myself, I like to read a regular book as opposed to online. Doesn't mean that that's not another option. I think, that's great. And it's a wonderful resource to be able to reach a number of different books that maybe you couldn't have in your home. But the feel of a real book in your hand, having the pages to turn, the pictures to look at, to flip back and forth, and having that understanding of how books work, just the opportunities that it provides to put that book in between a child and an adult, whether it be a parent or a mentor, and then having them interact with the book and reading it together, I think is priceless.
Yeah.
So I still, the real books as well as the online versions and Kindles and so on, those are great, but I really think that we want to hold on to our books and make sure that they're, used for these positive experiences.
Are the youngsters receptive?
Yeah, they are. They really are appreciative of having someone come. Every once in a while you run into someone that, maybe has a harder time, but they warm up after time. And, we know the teacher or the mentor, talks with them. And, but for the most part, they're very happy and pleased to have someone come and read with them. They have that undivided attention. There's no screen time during their mentor time, so no one's being distracted by any of that at all, and they are able to talk. They form these bonds and relationships with their mentors, and over time it's to say goodbye. So I think they meet with each other from October through May, and it really ends up being positive on both sides.
All right, I have to take a break.
Rewarding.
Have to take a break. Hang on. We'll come back. We'll talk about any events that you have coming up from the READ Association and more as we talk to Cynthia Pape. She is the president and director of the READ Association of Saginaw County. Let me ask how your sleep was last night, because today's workers are asked to do more for less. So when you go to bed and theoretically you spend a third of your life there, you need quality sleep. You can get it with a quality mattress from Sanitary Mattress. Now, you can visit all the so-called sleep stores, or you can rest assured the mattress you are using is manufactured right here in the Great Lakes Bay region to your specifications. Your dollars are spent, and they stay right here in our local economy. Your time in bed may be cut short by today's demanding world, but don't be fooled. You can still get a quality good night's sleep on a Sanitary Mattress. And they feature 1-hour window delivery of your mattress to your home. If you have an RV or a boat, Sanitary Mattress will custom make a mattress for you, something the box stores can't do. Visit the Sanitary Mattress Factory and Showroom, serving this area since 1935. Set your GPS to 5343 Janes Road in Saginaw, just east of the Harry Brown Airport. Visit them on the web at sanitarymattress.com or call them at 989-753-1757.
It's Bourbon and Bacon at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort, Saturday, September 24th. Don't miss classic rock legends 38 specials. Enjoy an evening of tasty barbecue and bacon dishes from top local restaurants like House of Barbecue, the Making Bacon food truck, and more. Plus a great lineup of bourbon cocktails to keep you rocking into the night. Bourbon and Bacon with 38 specials, September 24th at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. For tickets and info, visit bourbonbaconfest.com.
We're proud to make family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
RocketGrabPlus.com. Summer is here, the perfect time to save some money. Why would you pay full price when you know that you can save at RocketGrabPlus.com? You can check out all our from Tri-City Motor Speedway, One Up Games and Repairs, JB's Market in Munger, Norrie's of Auburn, Daylight Outfitters, and more. Half off? Yeah, it's true. And it's all at RocketGrabPlus.com. RocketGrabPlus.com.
Struggling with CPAP? Now there's Inspire, the only FDA-approved obstructive sleep apnea treatment that works inside the body to treat the root cause of sleep apnea with just the click of a button. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Visit InspireSleep.com to learn more.
Now, a WSGW Morning Team Show memorable moment.
This happened in the Syracuse beating Virginia. It was an upset. Kevin Harlan was announcing the game, and as the buzzer sounded,
and Syracuse have done it back from the dead on Easter Sunday.
oh no, that's basically what the reaction was.
Did a stretch.
So I was thinking about it, and my take was this. Obviously, it was Easter Sunday.
Right.
But outside of news reports, how many other references were made to what Easter is really all about? The resurrection of Jesus back from the dead. Most other references were about what? Easter bunnies and eggs.
Easter bunny,
Exactly. Kind of like with Christmas and Santa Claus. So I'm thinking to myself, well, at least Kevin Harlan, as poor as it might, he made a reference that was accurate for the day.
He worked right into his commentary.
And maybe that was his intent.
The Morning Team, weekdays 5:30 to 9 on WSGW. From the premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and design center studios, you are listening to 100.5 and 790 WSGW.
And we are back with you talking to Cynthia Pape. She is the president and director of the READ Association of Saginaw. So, Cynthia, I mentioned events. Do you have any coming up?
Great, big time for us at READ. Programs back up again, and so we are starting the READ Mentor Program at, like I mentioned, the 29 different locations. That's we're looking for volunteers for that. So anyone listening, please contact us. We're also starting our Raising Readers Academy back up for families to join in. They can all come together as a family. We provide a meal, free books, and literacy activities. It's a way to help parents to see themselves as their child's first teacher. And our big, huge news is that we're going to be opening the Carolyn R. Otto Family Literacy Center, which is new for us. We have not had an own, and with this, we're going to be offering free tutoring for children using the Barton Reading and Spelling Program, and also parent workshops, and it'll also serve as a location for our Raising Readers Academy. So that will be, we're looking at early October, mid-October for that opening, and then we'll be able to service the families in the area and hopefully help some students with their reading skills and move from there.
Let's talk about volunteers for a minute. What's expected of the volunteer? What types of volunteering do you have?
We have, as I mentioned, the mentor. There's no experience required for any of the volunteer opportunities that we have, but for volunteers, we do have a 1-hour training. We also have yearly orientations for them to just learn new information, and we provide some hands-on materials for them to use with their students. That commitment is one time a week for 1 hour. It can be at a school that's close to them, or, we usually work with the individual to find out what location works best for them, and then we pair them with the school that works. And then as far as our Raising Readers Academy program, we have those sessions also take place once a week for 12 weeks. We're looking for volunteers to come to serve as a second set of hands, maybe read a book to some children, or just help out with the activities. And then that happens for 12 weeks, 3 times a year. So you can do that as many or as little as you would like to. And we're right now in the middle of our READ book delivery program. We had a back to school sign up for parents. We had 623 families sign up. So right now our volunteers to the office, usually for about 1 to 2 hours to select books for students using a list that we provide. And then they can either come in and just do that, or they can take that box of books that they packaged and deliver them to families' homes. Like I said, it's about 15 to 20 families on a list, and there's a pre-routed map that we have available for them. So again, that opportunity can be for as many or as few times as a person would like to, but it's a good way to kind of come into our doors and hear about our other programs and help out with.
Is there a website people can get more information?
At readinsaginaw.org.
readinsaginaw.org. And can you make
Yes.
financial contributions there too?
Yes. Yep. There's a donate button, and you can pay through PayPal or any other kind of credit card information. And once you are a donator, we send you a newsletter and keep you up to date with all of our programming. And you can find ways to become involved.
Very good. Cynthia, thanks for spending a little time with us today. We appreciate it. Anything anybody needs to know that we haven't covered?
Just that we really have a reading crisis right now in our area and in Saginaw County as a whole. And it's really imperative that as a community, we step up and help out as much as we can. And we really appreciate all the volunteers that we have and the financial donors. But we are looking forward to a successful year and bringing people back that have mentored in the past and hopefully some new ones as well. So I appreciate the opportunity to share that.
I will do it again. Thanks for being with us today. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Have a
Take
good
care.
one. Bye-bye now.
You too. Bye.
Cynthia Pape, President Director of the READ Association of Saginaw County, back to close out after these notes.
Hi, I'm Tom Kreitler, host of the Money Pit Home Improvement Show. If you think you need a new roof, think again. You can avoid replacement and save thousands with RoofMax, the world's first roof rejuvenation treatment. RoofMax is a safe, easy, and affordable alternative to costly asphalt roof replacement, and it's guaranteed. So don't replace RoofMax.
RoofMax, a safe, easy, proven, affordable alternative to expensive asphalt shingle roof replacement. Call Ben today at 859-6751 or go to GetRoofMax.com for a free quote.
This is Jason from Applied Training Solutions